Hi ladies, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can create email automations in ActiveCampaign. Now the reason most people will create email automations is first of all for when they want to deliver their lead magnet. So for example, you've set up a landing page and somebody's put in their details and now you as the business owner need to deliver that lead magnet to them that you have promised them. So I use ActiveCampaign to do that. There are a number of other systems, but I found ActiveCampaign is the best to set up the automation, and it integrates very well with ClickFunnels, which is the system I use to do my landing pages and my sales funnels. So ActiveCampaign has a lot of features. Okay, there's a lot of information in here and it can be slightly overwhelming. But what I'm going to do today is talk you through the simple steps you need to follow to create that email automation whereby somebody puts their details in your landing page and your system automatically delivers the lead magnet to them. So first of all, we need to start with actually creating a list that that person's name or details will go onto. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to the lists function in ActiveCampaign, which is at the top here. You should be able to see that it says lists. If you click that, what you're doing here is you are clicking and creating a list of anyone who clicks on your download. So anyone that puts their details in and clicks download now or whatever your call to action is. We need to create a list so that ActiveCampaign can say, yes, that person's on your list. And when they go on the list, I automatically send them this email. Okay. So to do that, all you need to do is click add new list at the top here on the top right. And it'll basically just ask you for a little bit of information. This is all internal for you. And then if for whatever reason your contact wants to know how they've been on this list or how they've subscribed to it, you can include some information in here. So I'm just going to put test list. For anyone that's watching this, you can put in whatever you feel is best that reflects your particular list. So for example, if somebody was downloading a how-to document on how to create Facebook ads, for example, you might want to put here the title of that lead magnet and or that funnel. So you know exactly which list they're subscribed to, which they've downloaded, which will help you in your future marketing and your automations. I'm just going to put test list in here. You need to make a note of which website URL this list is for. So what I would do is actually put in your URL for your landing page that they've clicked on, because again, that's exactly how they've come into this list. So for this example, I'm just going to put raw like a queen, dash becoming a queen. Okay. And then you need to tell your contacts why they're on the list. Okay, just if ever they need to find out, they can get information, this will automatically populate the information for them. So I always just put something like, you are receiving this email as you have opted in to download our free tool, whatever it may be. Okay, you can put more information in there as you see fit. And all you need to do is click create list. Once you've done that, your list is now created. So you'll see here, I've got a load of different lists depending on what automation people are in. Some have lots of people, some have not many. And you can see along the top here that it will say recent contacts and how many are actually in there. Okay, so big differences there. So what we're going to do is just go to the test list now, which is the one we've just created. And I'm going to click on that now. When I go into there, it just says that there's nothing in there. Okay, and we know that because we've just created it, and at the moment, your landing page system, whether that's Wix or WordPress or ClickFunnels in my situation, hasn't integrated with this yet. Okay, so there's nothing in there. Now that you've created the list, what you now need to do is actually create the automated email. Okay, so that's going to be the email that they get, which says, thank you for downloading our free tool. Here it is. Okay, so what we need to do is you need to go to the automations tab along the top here, because this is where we hold all of our automated processes and emails. So again, I've got quite a few in here for all my different courses and all my different campaigns. What you need to do, don't get overwhelmed with what I've got on my screen, just set up your own new automation. So what you need to do, top right again, is just click on the bottom that says new automation. When you click on that, there's a lot in here. And as I said, ActiveCampaign has so many features, but I would always encourage you to start from scratch when you're doing an automation, unless there's a specific process that you want to follow for whatever reason. Somebody's told you ActiveCampaign is great for this particular process, or if you've got a marketing team that are building it for you, they may use some of the pre-populated ones. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just click in start from scratch here and click continue. So what will happen, and this is where you start to see a visual representation of your automated email. Now, this is very similar to a sales funnel, but it's very much less around the landing pages and more around the back end email automation. So if you've ever been in a funnel where you've downloaded something and then all of a sudden, a day later, a week later, 5 days later, another 5 days after that, you're getting constant emails, that is someone has built an email automation which is automatically sending you emails after certain periods of time. Or perhaps if you've looked at a website but not clicked on it, they'll have a pixel in there and they'll notify that, and then you will start receiving these emails. Okay, so it's important for you to just, as I said, not get overwhelmed with it, but just look at really thinking about what's going to happen for you. So when we're doing your email automation, when they've, say, filled in their details in your landing page, you've just created that list. And what you need to do now is create the automation. So what we want to do is, the first thing is actually add in a trigger that's going to start the automation. So they put in their email address, and your system, ClickFunnels in my example, is going to be connected to that and telling the ClickFunnels that they will then go on your list, which is here. So what we need to do is start the automation when they subscribe to the list. Okay, so that's the first one here. Again, there are loads of different things you can do date-based. So if you want to have something that automatically goes out on their birthday, for example, or if you want to have something that goes automatically in their on Christmas or whatever, there's a lot of different things you can do. What we're going to do first is click on subscribes to a list. So click continue. And then we need to decide what happens with that. Okay, so first of all, we've said it's going to subscribe to a list. So when they are in that list, what happens? So let's pick the list first. So here we want to be selecting the test list because that's the list that we've just created together. And we need to decide whether it runs once or more than once. Very rarely will you have someone go through the automation more than once, unless they've subscribed more than once, because quite often you don't want them to be receiving your content over and over, very repetitive. But if you do, you can actually select options, but I'm going to leave it with once. And then you can actually segment the contacts. It's slightly advanced. I wouldn't worry about that right now. At the moment, all you want to do is set up your simple automation. So just click add start. So by clicking add start, this is adding the first part of this automation, and you'll see that when we pop up here. So I'm just going to close this to show you what we've got so far. So as I mentioned, very, very visual. So you'll see now it says start this automation and one of these actions takes place. Contact subscribes to the test list. That's what we know happens. And then we want to tell it what to do with that. So we're saying to ActiveCampaign, yeah, when somebody actually subscribes to this list, I want you to do something, but we've not told them what we want it to do yet. Okay, so that's why we need to click the plus button here to add an action. So what we want to do is to send them a simple email. Okay, we don't want to create loads and loads of emails just now. At the moment, we want to just create one email that's going to deliver that lead magnet to them, that download, that ebook, that PDF, whatever it is you want to give them. So what we need to do here, where it says add a new action, is click send email. Again, ActiveCampaign, lots you can do, send SMS, loads of different things, okay? You can update all your details and add tags and things like that, but let's not overcomplicate it and let's just go with sending an email. So you've clicked that, now it's telling you, hang on, but you haven't actually created an email yet. So that's what we need to do now, okay? So let's just click here, create an email to get started. And we just need to work out what title you want that email to be. This is for your internal records, not for them. You get to pick that slightly separately down the line. So what we need to do is just pick an email name. So I'm going to just put delivery of ebook for test list. Okay. So see there, I've referred to what the lead magnet is and I've referred to the list that it's subscribed to. It's important for you to be able to reference everything together so that when you can just see all your emails in a list, you can see exactly what that email related to and it's not just sort of a standalone email. Click create. Now it's going to take you to your templates. There's a lot of generic templates that you can pick from. If there's one that you like the look of, which is here, you can see it says templates. You can build it from scratch, or you can actually go to past campaigns that you have sent if you got one that's already branded. So if you wanted to just have one that's already branded and just change the content, you can do that. I'm going to build one from scratch with you now just to show you how to do that. So click build from scratch. It's going to say, okay, you want to build a blank template. Now, what do you want it to look like? So I'm just going to pick newsletter because I think that's just easier. You can have text only, which is slightly different, but let's go with newsletter. If you want to have a slightly different design, you can have different columns. You can do a custom. It's really up to you, but let's keep it simple and go with newsletter. Then you need to pick the sender details. So it sounds very obvious, but you may want to have a different name here. So for example, when I send any emails for and on behalf of Rule Like a Queen, which is my movement, the tribe of women that I work very closely with, I don't put in here my name, I put in Rule Like a Queen, because they're getting an email from Rule Like a Queen as a community, as a movement, okay? But you can put your own name in there. You might want to put your business name in there, okay? But it's important because that's what pops up in their inbox. Then you can pick what email address you wanted to be sent to. Sent from. It's automatically going to populate your email address that you've used to log into ActiveCampaign, but you can change that. So quite often the email address I use is actually my @chloebeeson.com email address, so I can change that. Then this is where you put in your email subject. Again, this is what they will see. So you can say something like free gift. Usually if they've downloaded or opted in to download something, a free gift is usually the great sort of title, or you can put something like as promised, your ebook, you know, so that they see it and they think, oh, I remember what I downloaded. I remember what I opted in for. Okay, then it will take you to actually your template. So you can actually start customizing this now and write the email. So I'll just talk you through a couple of basics for ActiveCampaign, but obviously it would really depend on what you're delivering as to what you want yours to look like. So first of all, you've got all the details at the top, which is to do with the general email. So if you want to have a particular brand, a theme, I'd recommend, if you're planning on writing a number of emails, I'd recommend you adding a new theme and having your brand in there, because it's much, much easier to import your brand and then use it once, and you can use it over and over and over rather than having to recreate every single email. You can change the background color of the email. You can make the links a particular color. So for me, my hex code is usually very pink, so I will always have the links to be pink. You can change whatever you see fit with that. Let's just put the background back to being a nice white. You can have a border on the email. You can change that. You can change the alignment depending on where you want the spacing to be on the email. And you can also change the width. So if you want the text to be full width screen, if you want it to be a certain width, you can change that, okay? But along the top here, that's everything to do with the overall email. When we go down to the right, that comes into the detail of the particular blocks in the email. So there's a picture here at the moment, but if you wanted to add a new image, you can just click here where you can see me hovering there, which is image, and you just literally drag and drop. So just drag across and drop. Simple. If you want to delete it, let's say you realize actually I don't really want that, you just click this little settings button here, and there's a number of different things, and you can just click delete this. Are you sure? Yes. Done. You can add a button. You can add a video. If you wanted to, say, have a hook video on the email, say, you're nearly there, this is what you need to do, just click the button here, or this is the link, whatever it is, you can add a video in there. If you want to add a line break, so let's say you decided you wanted to have a bit more spacing, you can do that. You can have a spacer, it really depends what you're looking for. You can have an RSS feed, you can have the social links, and so on, and so on. Lots you can do here. One thing you will need to think about when you're delivering your lead magnet is how they're going to get it. So for example, if you have done an ebook and you've put it in your Google Drive, which is quite often how I do it, I will add a button in the email. They click on that and it takes them straight to the document. Okay, so that's what I'll show you how to do now. So where you see button here, just click on the little arrows and drag it down here. Insert here, click here, appears, okay? When you click on any of the content blocks, the right-hand screen changes, okay? So this menu changes, and that's because it adapts to whatever content block you are editing in ActiveCampaign. So you'll see here, if I click on the picture, it changes again, okay? So this is adapting to whatever content piece I'm clicking on. So first of all, I need to find the link. So depending on where it is, I would go into my Google Drive and copy and paste it, but right now I'm just gonna put Roll Like a Queen. And you can change the font to be whatever the font on the button you want it to be. You can change the size if you want it to be bigger. You can change whether you want it to be bold or not. looks a bit horrific. You can have the padding around the text bigger or smaller. You can change the color. So again, you'll see my brand is automatically in here. There's my pink. You can also change the font color as well. Probably should have mentioned, which I'm going to always put to white, again, to be in line with my brand. You can have a different color border. You can have it thicker. You can completely tailor everything. Then you can have an option around block. Okay, so that is this whole item here. So at the moment, it's got a transparent border, but if I wanted the whole thing to be pink, I can make it pink. If I wanted the whole thing to be white, I can make it white. I can have a border around the block itself. I can have a margin, I can have some padding, and again, then the column. Again, so if I want to change the whole column rather than the whole email, I can do that. So there's a lot of different things you can do in ActiveCampaign. So at the moment, I've got my text, and let's imagine that this text says you can download here, or congratulations for opting in to download my ebook on XYZ. Click the button below to open your ebook and get started doing XYZ. Okay, so you're probably going to put in something now that's going to remind them how amazing it is to have this lead magnet, because again, it's not just them putting in their details, you actually want them to open it. Okay, so in the text here, you need to have something written that's going to attract their attention and really make them take action. Okay. So to edit the text, we have to just click on the box and just start typing. Nice and easy. You can change the content here as well along the top here. So you can change the font. You can change again, bold, not bold. If you want to make a simple link, so here it says simply click here. I can add a link in here and put the URL. If I want to make this particular bold and a different color, I can do that. There's a lots of different things you can do. You can add an image in this particular text box, which is quite cool. The final thing to mention is that you're probably going to want to personalize it. So if you're sending this ebook and Chloe Beeson has subscribed to it, you're probably going to want to say, hi, Chloe. You're probably not going to want to have a generic hi there. Okay. If you want to say, hi, Chloe, what you need to do is click on the personalize button here at the top and pick which personalization you want. You can have the full name, you can have the first name, you can have the last name, and you can have loads of other things in there, okay? So for example, if you wanted to confirm their details, you could say, here's the details you've put in, here's your first name, last name, and your phone number. I'll call you on this number, depending on what you're offering as your lead magnet. It's so easy to add that in, but I'm just gonna put the first name here. Click on that and it will automatically appear in the text box for you. So it says, hi, first name, comma, okay? This is blah, 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 blah. Download here, click here, okay? I can make this bigger if I want to. Let's just highlight the text first and make this bigger. Make it smaller. I'm going to make it in line with my other fonts that I've been using before. And that is pretty much the basics. There's a number of other options you can do to change different things, but right now we don't need to be doing any of that. Final thing, branding. So at the moment they've put a nice beautiful picture here of probably a sunset sunrise image. Okay, I want to change this and make this to be branded, because again, this is possibly one of the first times your audience are even going to hear from you. So you want it to sound great, you want it to look great, and you want it to feel like the landing page they've just been on. Okay, so have your brand consistent. So I'm just going to change this. So you can either click the edit button here, which just changes a number of different things if you want to duplicate it, make it conditional. But in order to change your image, I'm going to click up here. So you'll see it says new image. You can crop it, you can edit the image. I'm going to click new. And it will automatically take me to my image manager. Okay, so if you have no images in here at all, that's fine. You just click add new image, and it will take you to your usual Explorer, depending on whether you're using Safari, Chrome, Internet Explorer, whatever, okay? If you have already uploaded something in here, you'll be able to find your brand in here. So I'm gonna click here because this is the Rule Like a Queen brand, and I click choose, boom. There it is, my header looking nice and crisp, and then I've got the information in there, okay? Final thing is you'll see there's a unsubscribe button. It'll just say who it's been sent to. That is pretty much it, guys. That is as simple as it comes with delivering your email, okay? So at the moment, we're just building the email template so that it can automatically be sent. So once you're happy with the email, what's in there, the template, the text, all you need to do is click next. And then it'll give you some of the details. Okay, So it's going to show me a campaign summary. So it's showing me that the subject, again, if I want to change it, I can do. It's showing me who I'm sending it from. It's giving me the details so that I can remember what the message is about. It's checking in with my address, because all the emails will have an address at the bottom. So where my business is based, you can change that. You can add a number of different things in here. You can track how many people have opened it. You can track the links, who's clicked on what. You can track the replies. You can look at Google Analytics. I've not got that set up, but you can do. You can also send a test email. I would really encourage you to do this by just clicking send test and put your own email address in here. Reason why is because you want to see what it's going to look like when they get the email. You can do previews at the bottom here, but the benefit about sending the test email is you're going to see exactly what it looks like when it pops up on their phone, when it pops up on their emails on their screen, and what it looks like in the email in their inbox. Okay. And then finally, look at the spam check here. It's really important. So at the moment it's saying passed. I have had a few which trigger various risks. And the main importance of this is that if it has anything up to 10% where there's a risk, it'll pop up saying there's a risk of spam. What that means is that it may go into their spam in their inbox. That's not what you want. Okay, there is nothing worse than having an email that just goes into spam, because they're not going to get it. Sometimes people do check that. Sometimes some people haven't got their spam that automated, but it's still important to make sure that it's passed. Okay, so you'll see here that it says passed, and I'm happy with all that content in the campaign summary. So all I need to do is click finish. Okay, so this brings us back down to our automation, which is the email automation. And let's just run through it now. So you'll see here that it says start this automation when one action takes place. So somebody subscribes to the test list. When that happens, they get sent an email with the ebook. Simple, okay? Now, if you wanted there to be a particular delay, for whatever reason, I don't particularly want this, but if you did, let's say you wanted it to be a day late, or you wanted to maybe add a delay and then send another email, all you need to do is click this plus button here and go down to conditions and wait. Okay, so by doing this, you are basically putting them in this automation, but then they're going to wait at different periods of time to get their next email. Okay, so all you need to do is click, I'm going to go with period of time, but you can have it for different conditions. So for example, if you were sending an email and you only wanted it to send the next email once it actually opened the document, you could set that. Okay, but right now I'm just going to click for a specific period of time, and I just say how many days to wait for. So let's click 1 day, happy days, click save. So now it's going to say wait for 1 day, and then I can do something else. So I can click another plus, and if I want to, I can go to send another email, or I can send a text message or whatever, okay? Lots you can do, let's not overwhelm it here. So that is your automation. Final thing that you need to do, the most important part of your automation, is to name it, because you want everything to connect. So we want to name this in line with the ebook and the test list. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to put funnel, or you can put automation for ebook, and I would put the title of the ebook in there for test list. Okay, so you are linking the fact that it's an automation, you're linking the delivery of the ebook, and you are linking the list. Okay, really, really, really important. You click save, and that's you done. That is your automation done. The final thing to make it live is you want to activate it. And what you need to do is click activate at the top here. So it says active, inactive. Just click active and it's live. Simple, okay? If at any point you want to be able to see who's been through this, you can click view contacts, and that will open up a screen that will show you anyone that's in that list, anyone that's been through that automation. Okay guys, so that is it. That is everything you need to do to deliver your lead magnet, or just set up a simple email automation in ActiveCampaign. So let's just go back to automations, and you will see that it's in here and that it is live. So see here, active funnel/automation for ebook for test list. If you want to edit that again, you can just click edit, make it inactive, view contact, share it, copy it, and so on and so on. So that is it, guys. That is your automation setup. Any questions at all, please do let me know. I cannot wait to hear how you guys get on.